Hello, what's going on, everybody? It's your man, not your boy, Ted E. Fame, formerly of Tony Williams Platters, back at it again with another episode of the adventures of the Platters or Tony Williams Platters, or the ongoings on what goes on at a Platter show behind the scenes. We're gonna talk about it. Give me a second. Just setting up something here real quick. Well, we're going to talk about it. We got some stuff to talk about. I'm about to, ooh, wow, that's quick. Right there. Look at that. Damn. So today, what are we discussing today? We're talking about the tour, well, not the tour, the show we did in 1986. It was called the High Desert Music Festival. It was in, where was it? In Altoona or Riverside? Where was it at? Hold on. I want to get the exact location because I've been saying things that, oh, it was in Apple Valley, California. Apple Valley. And it was called the High Desert Music Festival. So any of you guys that are Doo-Wop Ferris Platters fans, just Google High Desert Music Festival, 1986, and you'll see all the artists that was on the show. Just for example, the rundown. I have the flyer here, and I also posted it as a thumbnail. We had the Righteous Brothers, Shirley Austin. She made the song. Oh, the voice of Shirley Austin of the Shirelles, the Angels, Bill Baker's Five Satins. Wow. Hank Ballard and the Moonglows and the Midnighters. Hank Ballard and the Midnighters. Who else? The Belmonts, the Box Tops, Larry Chance and the Earls, Larry Coco and the Chimes, the Coasters, the Diamonds, Danny and the Juniors, featuring Joe Terry, the Dixie Cups, the Doves, the DeVoes, Bo Diddley, Benny King, Lil Anthony, the Marvelettes, Sam Moore, Sam and Dave, the Orleans, the Penguins, Paul and Paula, the Platters, us, Martha Reeves, the Regents, the Skyliners, Arlene Smith and the Chantels, the Tokens, the Times, the Toys, and Bobby Cornstalk's Orchestra. That was the lineup. I got all the people that was on that lineup. An incredible event. It was a 2-day event. The first day was country music, and the second day was rock and roll, and all the artists I just mentioned, who all had hit records at one time or another in the 50s or early 60s. And the thing that stands out to me the most about that festival that we were invited to was that it was it was a free festival, and they built it out there in the Mojave Desert. We actually were in motels, and because the motel had a large parking lot area, and what the concert promoter actually done was they rented like 3 helicopters. Found out later that one of the helicopters was broken. Didn't know that at the time. But the helicopter would land in the parking lot, We would get in the helicopter, fly over the concert site, land backstage, jump out the helicopter, run on stage, do our show, finish our show, roll off stage, jump back in the helicopter, and fly back over the concert site, back to the hotel. Now, while we're flying, I'm looking down, and we're flying over all these people. God, gotta be like 50, 60, 70,000 people there. Free concert, right? Incredible. It was like, I got the feeling, so this is what it feels like to be a star. Because it felt like being a star. I felt like the Beatles, to tell you the truth. It was an incredible experience. And mentioning these artists. And what happened was, so we got there like a day before, and we were able to fly back and forth. We'd do a sound check. Now, not everybody wanted to fly, because not everybody was brave enough to get in the helicopters. Or, I don't even think most of the groups got in the helicopter. Most of the groups drove their cars or limos from the hotel to the concert site. By helicopter is a 5-minute flight. If you're driving, I think it was like 30 minutes or so. I'm not sure. I can't remember. I don't know. I flew. Matter of fact, during the sound check time, I would fly back and forth. I must have gotten the helicopter like 5 to 10 times. It was my first time ever in a helicopter, and I was just enjoying the experience of flying back and forth in a helicopter. It was a great, great experience. And there were so many things I remember. All the people, man, that's what a festival felt like. Wow. You know, that's what Live Aid felt like. We had all these people out there, right? And they all excited, and they big fans of this music. So every artist, all these people are big fans of. They all are there just to see us. Incredible experience. Oh, just before I go any further, guys, you know, I would appreciate it if you would like, subscribe, and share these videos. And if you want to leave a comment, do that. After enough comments, I'm going to start dropping a link in the description box and have you guys just join me and have a conversation. I'm the last of Tony Williams' Platters from 1982 to 1992. I was in his last version of the Platters. 10 years with this man. 10 incredible years with all the ups and downs. It was an incredible year. Memories, incredible memories. Mouth's kind of dry. Experiences, incredible experience. And I'm going to share all these stories with you. So on those particular shows, like I said, when we're doing shows with multiple acts, or I didn't say in this live, but I said in a previous live, when we're on the show and we're with multiple acts, we only do like the hits. And the Platters had, how many hits? I know they had 4 or 5 number one records. Number one records. Hits, they had to have, I don't know, 10, 15, at least 12 hits. So when we with multiple acts, we just do the hits. And when we with a large festival like that, then we only do the number ones. And since we had multiple number ones, we would do 20 minutes minimum. Whereas all the other artists, some of them who never had a number one, you know, so they would just do their hits. So we were always either the headliner or the last act before the headliner. On this particular one, although they didn't bill us as the headliners, we closed the show. We followed the Righteous Brothers, who they I guess for some reason they gave the Righteous Brother the headliner act, but we were actually headliners because we closed. We came on after the Righteous Brother, and we were the last act. And I do specifically remember how excited the audience was. Tony was in a really good voice that day. He was in good condition that day. It wasn't after, no. By the time we got on, it was early evening. I think the show started in the afternoon with all those acts, and like I said, we were the last act. So we were, I think it was somewhere in the late or early evening, not night, later when we got on, but it was still packed with people. And I just had this vision in my mind, looking out the helicopter, just looking down at all these people down there. I'm like, wow, 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 and wow, wow, wow. That's all I can say. I mean, it was breathtaking the way it was. And we did all the hits: "Smoke Gets in Your Eyes," "Only You," "The Great Pretender," "My Prayer." Sorry. "Smoke Gets in Your Eyes." So we did all the hits, and the audience knew all the songs. They sung along to every one of the songs. By the way, I have a lot of videos with me performing with the Platters on this particular channel. All you have to do is go to the playlist and look for the playlist that says the Platters, and you'll see multiple videos of us performing. Now, all these performances were between 88 and 89, 1988 and 1989. I was lucky to get my hands on some of these performances with me as a member of the Platters. I'm in the middle. We have the lineup of 5 people. So Tony would be to my far right. Then the woman in between Tony was older, but it became his wife. Then I'm in the middle, second tenor. Then the baritone to my left, and to my far left, the bass singer. That's the Platters lineup. And that's the lineup that we did for the 10 years that I was in the group. I was always in the middle. Right there, I felt special. Just being in the middle, so everybody saw me, or everybody saw everybody, but for some reason you feel like you targeted on being in the middle. And I had some hair back then, a lot younger. This year, I just turned 64. I joined the Platters when I was 22. So for 10 years, from 22 to 32, I was in the group. So I was in the Platters in my prime years. I was a baby in the group, the youngest one. Everybody was like 20 years older than me, right? And the members of the group. Some of the band guys were closer to my age. They were younger, but the Platters themselves, they were all at least 20 years older than me at the time. And I see all these multiple Platter groups out there. And I feel fortunate that I actually was in Tony Williams' Platters. That's the lead singer. For anybody who don't know, but you Platters fans know who Tony Williams is. The original lead singer for the Platters, who made those records, who sung those. Not in the Platters or any version of the Platters that did not have Tony Williams. It's not, look, that's my opinion. I don't care what you guys call other groups. If Tony Williams is not part of that group, those are not the Platters. Those were tribute Platters. Because let's be honest, on the hit records, all the other members was doing was saying oohs and ahs. Tony Williams were carrying those songs. So the audience wanted Tony Williams. And we were fortunate enough to get booked at a lot of shows Because during that time that we were out, there had to have been at least Herb Reed had his version of the Platters. Zola Taylor had her version of the Platters. Who else? Oh, Buck Rams Platters. He owned the rights to the Platters. So that's three plus us. That's four Platters groups at the time that we were out. But we were the only group that had Tony. So we got top billing. We got preferential treatment. We got first choice, let's say, from promoters. Out of all the Platters, they wanted our version with Tony Williams. And I was fortunate enough to be a part of that group, which gave me the opportunity to see what it feels like to be in a famous group with a famous singer and all these other artists who respect him. It's just the backstage scene, even at this show, just sitting backstage waiting to go on and mingling with all the other artists, and everybody was like bowing down to Tony. He was like the king. I'm talking about, you saw the artists that I named off. I named off every artist that was on that show. I swear to you, every one of those artists that was original members of those groups introduced themselves to Tony or greeted Tony with long time no see and have a conversation. I felt so proud, you know, and by that time I was featured in the group. Although not on that show. I didn't sing any leads on that show because we were with all the other groups that I talked about. So they featured me when we're doing like solo group shows where we're the only act and we do like an hour plus, then each member of the group will get a chance to sing. But when we're on a show like that with multiple acts, we're only doing the hits. So Tony Williams is the only lead singer. So we all just singing background. I love them both. I love when I get a chance to sing, of course, because I get a chance to showcase my talent. And I let me tell you something. I feel very fortunate and lucky that they showcase my talent. A lot of people saw me sing and saw my performance and saw my talent. And that's all you could ask for. At least that's all I could ask for, which was amazing to me. I'm going to tell you, to have people come to me and asking me for my autograph because they just saw me on stage with the Platters. Say they feel like I'm a Platter, even though I'm a replacement, even though I replaced the original guys, I'm still a member of that group, or still a member of that group, and got the receipts, you know, got the videos, pictures, and all that stuff to show you that. The reason I mentioned that it's my birthday. Hold on a second. I need to get something to drink. I'm over dry, thirsty. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, but I just wanted to get something to drink. I got some water. This is my favorite. LaCroix water. This is the what is this? This is the lemon cello. Lemon cello. For some reason, I love this particular water. I love it. So here we go. Salute. Oh, that was better. Anyway, back to the story. So yeah, we're out there. Oh, and we flew from New York because we're based in New York. So we flew to New York, and that was my first trip to Cali. And I know I'm jumping all over the place, but just getting back to why I mentioned my age, because this is the age Tony Williams was when he passed. He died at the age of 64, and he was in terrible health. Here I am at the age of 64 and the greatest health in my life, you know, taking care of my body, eating right, no drugs or alcohol or cigarettes, and I get my rest, and I'm fasting. So I'm doing a lot of stuff to take care of myself. So I'm in excellent condition. I'm retired as a member of the Platters, but I go out occasionally and sing it around the city. And by the way, that first trip that we took to LA, California, when we landed in LAX, and I saw the palm trees, and this had to be in the spring or late winter or early spring. So it was still cold in New York, but the weather was beautiful, like in the 70s or something out here. It was beautiful. Anyway, the reason I mentioned that, I say out here because I'm out in LA now. I eventually moved to Los Angeles in the 2007. I eventually moved to Los Angeles, where I'm currently residing at since 2007. I love LA, love it. I'm a born and raised New Yorker, but I'm out here in LA and I love it. So it seems like all those things tie in. And believe it or not, because of the Platters, I got a chance to travel all over the world. Visit a lot of countries, countries I never even knew exist. I got to visit those places. So great stories to tell. Asia was one of our biggest markets. So we would definitely go out to Japan at least once a year, Singapore, Hong Kong. And I end up, after leaving the Platters, going back to Singapore and working there for a year, and then going back to Japan and spending 10 years there. So I lived the life. Basically, I could just tell you that all my dreams came true. Even to this day, because now I'm retired as a singer, professional singer. I took up acting. Believe it or not, I'm an actor. I've been acting since about 10 years now. I've been acting for about a little closer to about 8 to 10 years, 8 years now. And I started out doing background work on most of the shows. Matter of fact, it's one of my proudest. I gotta show off a little bit, of course, because these are proud moments I want to share with you guys. So, and here's my little card I carry. Well, where is it? That's not it. Hold on a second. I got it right here. There it is. Where are you playing with me, card? Voila. Check that out. Oh, I want you to see my name. That's my SAG-AFTRA card to show you that I'm in the Actors Union. That's right. I'm in the Actors Union. And I have an agent. Most of my acting work, right now I have a commercial agent, so I'm focused on doing commercials. I do a lot of background work. Matter of fact, I was just on a set this morning doing some background work for a show. Even though we're on strike, and we've been on strike, for what, 3-4 months now. So it's been some lean times. There's some work that's occasionally we get that is not affected by the strike because it's low budget film shows. And this was one of them. And we did that today. Man, don't even ask me the name of the show off the top of my head. We was at the scene is a racetrack scene, and we're pedestrians walking into the racetrack itself, and the main character is walking by us going to the racetrack. So that's the premise of that particular scene that I shot today. It only took 2 hours. We got paid for an 8-hour day when we work 2 hours. And being in the union, we get the union prices, the union fees, which is incredible. Now, hopefully, the strike is going to be over soon. We can all get back to work regularly. And I have an agent, like I said, commercial agent. So the commercials are not affected by the strike because there's no writers involved in that. So I can still do commercials, so I do auditions. I did 2 auditions this week. I did an audition today. That's crazy. I filmed a scene today for some background work, and then I came back and I did a self tape, like I'm doing now here on Zoom, on YouTube. I also do self tapes from home. If I don't have to go to the audition itself at a studio, they would have you do a self tape. They would give you the instructions, and then you would tape yourself doing whatever the instructions are, and then you would send the tape off. So that's what I did before I started this live. I did a self tape of an audition. Can't talk too much about the auditions because we're signed these agreements that you don't talk about it, the shows and stuff. So I can't really talk about it, but that's how it is. And I love it. I love it. I love the, I'm a hand for attention. I think I just was born for attention. So I love it. And the Platters, I'll tell you this, and this I can tell you is facts. If I did not join the Platters when I joined the Platters, I would have stopped pursuing a career in entertainment years ago, because the sacrifices that I made to be where I'm at today in life, you can't change that. Okay, so I can't take none of that back. So the sacrifices I made was not having a family. I've never been married, and I don't have any children. That's the sacrifice you made to follow your dreams. Now, that's not all bad, because the adventures I had in life, that's talk. Yes, I'm no Will Chamberlain here, but I had my share. Being out there on that road, yes, indeed, I had my share. So that's all. Let's leave it right there. I don't need to take it no further. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. And those are great memories. But like I said, I didn't sire any ears, so I don't have any children, which not necessarily would be the case even if I got married, because my brother, who's a year younger than me, is married, and they don't have children because his wife couldn't have kids, and they spend tens of thousands of dollars trying to have children, and they don't have any kids. So I've never been married and don't have any kids. My brother's been married for over 20 something years, no longer than that, almost 30 years, and don't have any kids. So there you go. So it's not for everybody's not supposed to have kids. That's the way I look at it. And I'm not missing out anything, because I can look back on my life with a smile on my face, because I got a chance to live my life and my dreams, and do all the things I wanted to do in life, and still, like I said, still doing that to this day. So I have no regrets, none whatsoever. And the memories will last me a lifetime of memories. 10 years in the Platters, I got 10 years worth of conversation to talk to you guys about, 10 years worth of experiences, behind the scenes stuff, even some juicy stuff. I'm talking about this particular show, this festival, because it was a big deal. And I just run off the names of all the people that was on one of the big deals. We also did one a couple of years later in '88. It wasn't a festival when it was in New York. It was called Showtime Rock and Roll Classic Reunion. And it was another big show, and they had a lot of those same names that I went off. They was on this show too, but this was in New York. So we did the festival in '86 in California, and then we did the Showtime Rock and Roll Classic Reunion. That was for TV. And that whole show, you can also find on my playlist under the Platters. It says Showtime Rock and Roll Classic Reunion, and it's the whole show is about an hour and 30 something minutes on right, and then you can see all the artists on that. So what I'm gonna do on my next live, which is Friday, I will be talking about that Showtime Classic Rock and Roll Reunion show and all the acts that was on that show. So look forward to that. And man, I got some great stories. Or did I talk about that one already? I think I actually talked about that. I got to look back on my live. I might have and I might have not. I think I probably mentioned it, but not really talked about it. So if I didn't really go into details about that particular show, on my next live, I will be talking about that particular show. That was actually my first time on TV, because what they did at that time, this was '88, so it wasn't SAG-AFTRA. It was either SAG, no, it was SAG. And I had a chance to get in the union then, because it was only the money they paid us for that show. I could use it to join the union. They gave me an option. But, you know, I thought there was going to be other opportunities to join the union, so I took the money instead. Now, here I am years later, and that union card I just show you, to join the union, when I join the union now, instead of a couple $100, it was $3,300 to be a member of the SAG-AFTRA union now, which I am, that I paid. And that Showtime was the first time we was actually on TV, so I have that. And it's all those things, like I said, are on my page. So if you get a chance, subscribe to my channel. And look, I also have videos of me performing after I left the Platters with my own group in Japan and Singapore. And I also have like 3 CDs that I released as a solo artist. And you can find that music on my page. If not, I don't think my music channel is ready yet, but it's all CD baby. If you Google Teddy Fame music, you will find. Oh, actually, no. You can find on my playlist, Teddy Fame original music playlist. You can find a lot of my music. So I'm all over the place with this stuff, because this YouTube thing here is just a new thing for me, and I'm getting the hang of it, and I'm loving it. I'm liking it. I found out all the little tricks and trades. Going through StreamYard, I can go live before I even become a YouTube partner. I can go live. Most people who join YouTube can't go live until they become a YouTube partner. That means you have to get 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers. Or you can see I have neither 4,000 watch hours or 1,000 subscribers on this channel. This is a new channel that I've just started a month ago now, probably a month now. So this is a brand new channel. And this channel is specifically made for you Platters fans out there, for all you that are still out there, that are still with us today, who really love Tony, not just the Platters, but Tony Williams, okay? Because I'm going to give you exclusive behind-the-scenes stuff about stories about Tony Williams Platters. I can't talk about the original Platters with the original members because I was not a part of that, and none of those guys were in the group. I can talk about Tony Williams because I was in his group, and I think that's who y'all want to hear about. I'm sure you Platters fans are not that interested in hearing about David Lynch or Herb Reed or Zola Taylor, because they were. Let's keep it 100. Let's keep it real. They were only background singers. I think Zola might have had a couple of songs out. Correct me if I'm wrong, if any other members had any solo songs out. I know none of them had hits. I know that. The only other hit the Platters had that wasn't sung by Tony was sung by his replacement, Sonny Turner. And his hits were little minor hits. Okay, it wasn't no big top 10 hits or number one like Tony's. His hits, well, he had two hits. I think it was "Love You a Thousand Times" and "Wash the Shore." And it's ironic because when we do our full shows where we don't act, I sing "Wash the Shore" in the show, and I also sing a cover of the Isley Brothers "Shout," which is usually a showstopper. We leave at the end of the show where I get to like showcase my full talents, and those clips are on my playlist, so you can actually see me in my prime, getting down, baby, doing what I do. So look, I'm only doing these lives for about 30 minutes or so, and I'm gonna end this live here. So I want to thank you guys for whoever came and joined me and watching this. Thank you. I'll be back on Friday, same time, same bad channel, and we'll go live. We'll talk about that Showtime Rock and Roll Reunion Talk show, 1988. So it was fun talking about this particular festival, which was great. And I heard they filmed it, but I can't seem to find any footage. So if there's any footage out there that any of you guys heard about, know about, sorry about that. Out there, I live downtown. I live downtown LA, so it's a lot of traffic. So yeah, if there's any footage out there from that festival, and if any of you guys know about it, let me know and post it on YouTube because I would love to see it because that was an amazing festival. But I got enough footage on my channel of me singing with the Platters to entertain you guys. Now, granted, these footages is of Tony in his last years, his last 4 years. No, 86. His last 6 years. No, I don't have footage of 86. I got footage of 88 and 89. So his last 4 years on this earth. So he wasn't at his best, but it's still Tony Williams. And you can still see the reaction of the audience loving Tony Williams. So once again, my name is Ted E. Fame, formerly of Tony Williams Platters from 1982 to 1992. Back at it again. So I'm gonna keep posting these lives, and eventually I'm gonna start having conversations with some of you Platters fans. And just for the guys who don't believe that I'm actually I'm the last surviving members of that group. Nobody else is alive with us anymore. Everybody you see in those videos that I'm performing with the Platters, I'm the only one still alive. They're all gone. They're all gone, and I'm the only one left. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? Wow. Just think about that. But anyway, I love you, Teddy Fame. You Platters fans, support me. Let people know that there's a Platters member, a Platters replacement that are out here talking about being with Tony Williams, posting videos of him with Tony Williams, and talking about the behind the scenes stuff. Anyway, I'm Teddy Fame. Love, peace. See you next time. Okay? Bye-bye.